imagine more stories that soar, business, life, and so much more. Laughs, lessons, and local delight. It's the podcast that feels just right. It's the Imagine More podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Imagine More podcast, where we introduce you to the incredible people, businesses, nonprofits, and community leaders who make Moore County such a special place to live, work, and play. I'm your host, Rose Young. Today, we're talking about something that touches nearly everyone at some point in life, finding a place to call home. My guest today is Mellisa Holt with Main Street Home Loans. Mellisa has helped countless families navigate the home buying process. But what makes her story so interesting is that mortgage lending was never part of the original plan. In fact, her journey includes developmental psychology, teaching exceptional children, construction supplies, automobile finance, banking, motherhood, and eventually becoming one of Moore County's most respected mortgage professionals. Wow, Mellisa.
Quite the journey, right?
Quite the journey. Along the way, she and her husband, Brad, built a life here in Moore County, is raising a daughter who is now finishing her freshman year at Pinecrest High School, and discovered that helping people achieve home ownership was exactly where she was meant to be. Mellisa, welcome to the Imagine More podcast.
Thanks for having me, Rose.
One of the things I find fascinating about your story is that mortgage lending wasn't the plan at all.
Not even remotely.
If someone had met you in college, they probably would have predicted a very different career path.
Absolutely, yes.
So your degree is in developmental psychology. How did you go from wanting to work with children to becoming a mortgage lender?
Well, the path was kind of, like a river, it just kind of flowed where it wanted to go. And I just was along for the ride. I always knew that I wanted to work with children. And when I went to school for developmental psychology, initially I thought I was going to do criminal psychology. But the more I got into it, I said, I'm really interested in helping children develop their own self, their own voice, and figuring out what they want to do. And that's kind of the path that I decided to take. And when I got into it, really starting with a program in a preschool, working with children every single day was just so much fun.
It is fun.
So much fun. But the psychology piece of it and working with exceptional children and coming up with those plans really meant having to work more with the social services side of it and the bureaucracy of it.
Oh, all the paperwork.
Oh, yeah. And that was just the part that didn't appeal to me and kind of stole the joy from the job. And I knew that if I stayed in that career, having children of my own would probably never come to fruition.
Yeah.
So I decided that I would be better serving children outside of the scope of a career and just doing it from the love of my heart and moving forward somewhere else.
Right.
But I had also just gotten my very first house on my own, and having to pay that payment was like, okay, now I need a job. What can I do?
Oh, yeah. That's a reality check.
Absolutely. So really quickly, I just immediately went to the classifieds. You remember those? You scroll the newspaper, you circle. Oh, yes, absolutely. I had that paper on my kitchen table, and I'm calling my mom going, I live by myself. I have no help. What do I do? She said, you better find a job fast.
Yeah.
So I ended up just trying something completely different because I kept seeing over and over again, marketing, sales.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I'll give it a try. What's the worst they can say? No.
Yeah.
I hear no all day long for the last 5 years from, small children. Now, what an adult saying no isn't going to hurt my feelings.
No.
So I jumped right in and took my first job in a sales and marketing firm that let me travel quite a bit, and I loved. And did not think I would like sales, but I loved it.
I could see you'd be good at that because you're very easy to talk to.
That was my favorite part. meeting new people every single day, talking to new people, and becoming a tiny portion of the story of whatever direction they were going in.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but it kept me from this house of my own. And I was home long enough to basically do laundry, pack a suitcase, and leave again. So I kind of decided at that point that traveling was a little more than I wanted to take on. And, I was in my early 20s and ready to just kind of figure out the trajectory of my actual life. And do I want to always be traveling for work?
Yeah.
Not really. So when I made the move into the construction supply company.
Oh my goodness.
It was a sales job. So I'm like, well, I can do that. So I applied for it, and the guy took me in for an interview, and he told me point blank, I am only doing this interview out of sheer curiosity. Like, you have zero experience. Why would you do this? And I thought, why not?
Right.
Why not? And so I ended up getting that job, and I loved it. And I had a pretty decent territory, but still home every night. So I got the taste of home, but not in the same place every day still. So it was a nice kind of transition from always traveling to having a set place that you go every day.
Yeah.
And I would have stayed with that forever if it weren't for meeting the love of my
Oh
life.
gosh, the boys always change.
Yes, they do. And it just kind of was one of those things where he had the opportunity to have a huge career move for him. And before my brain could speak, my heart spoke, and I said, there's only one of you, and I can always get another job.
Oh, wow.
And he said in that moment, he knew that he was going to marry me. So I guess I did the right thing.
That's funny. So where were you at this time when you were doing all this?
So I was in Winston-Salem area.
Winston-Salem.
Okay. And I had been there for the majority of my life. We kind of we're the halfback family. Half my family's in upstate New York and all over around the city. And then the rest of my family's in South Florida. So we kind of ended up in the middle of North Carolina most of my life.
Oh, okay. I see. So looking back, what are some of the things you learned from these other jobs that help you today?
Well, really, working with children just kind of creates this deep need for patience.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And the ability to understand what they're asking for when they have no idea what they're trying to say.
Right.
And that goes beyond just any child trying to find their own voice. When you're working with exceptional children, and a lot of whom who do not speak at all, and having to really understand what it is they're trying to articulate, and trying to understand and build that bridge where there's a level of comfortability. Goodness gracious. It really just kind of creates something within you that deepens the empathy level and understanding of what people are really truly looking for. And a lot of times people are afraid to ask. Every single day I deal with that. When people come in and they immediately want to ask, what's the interest rate? How much is this going to cost? 9 times out of 10, that has absolutely nothing to do with what they're trying to accomplish. That's just what they've been told that's what they need to ask.
We don't know any better.
Well, that's what you expect. You think mortgage, you think numbers, but there's so much more to it. And it's a life built around the home you're acquiring. And my job is to help you understand that there's so much more to it than just what's the best interest rate.
Right. So you pull it out of us.
Without you knowing. It's hearing those things you're not saying, or hearing the things that you're talking about, and the stories that you tell about your families and experiences, and understanding what's important to you. Then it helps me kind of build your family story, your family's journey towards that homeownership. And a lot of times it boils down to one of two things: your monthly expenses so that you can maintain the lifestyle you want, or the upfront cost. Am I going to be able to do anything else beyond closing on this loan and walking in the front door? At the end of the day, I want you to find balance between the two and grow from the place of homeownership, not be stagnant and stuck, or as they call it, house poor.
House poor.
Yes.
Oh, do you find that a lot of people overbuy because they want the bigger house and the more expensive house?
Sometimes. And the story really for people is helping them understand that when you buy this house, especially first-time home buyers, this is not inevitably, it may end up being your forever home, but most of the time it is not.
It's your first.
It's your first home. It's your first opportunity to really be a part of that homeownership process and understanding all that entails. It's the American dream, yes.
Yes.
But I'm in the job of putting you in debt.
Oh, wow.
My job is to put you in debt.
Yeah,
if you look
sure
at it from that
is.
perspective. And then it's a matter of managing, is that a healthy debt or is it hurting you?
Right.
And at the end of the day, sometimes people just really want to know what's the absolute most that I can buy. And what you can buy on paper is not necessarily going to correlate to the lifestyle that you live. Because when we're looking at those kinds of debts, it is really just things that report to your credit report. But things that don't report are going to be, the groceries, the going out to dinner, the paying for camp for your kids, all the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, those don't report. So if we are capitalizing on this small little window and maxing you out for your total ability to carry this X amount of debt, you're not leaving a whole lot of room for actually living.
Right.
And if I'm only telling you this is your max and I push you to that limit, I'm doing you a disservice.
Yeah. And that's so scary to hear. So you and Brad moved to Moore County, started a new job, and got married all within about, 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yes. Yes, we did. And we got married out of the country, so it was, yes.
Tell us about that crazy chapter.
So he was offered the ability to become a partner with the company he was with at the time, and we were about to close on a house in Asheboro, North Carolina, where we were. And we just happened to get the timing just right where we could back out of our contract and not really lose anything and then move forward. We were trying desperately to figure out where we were going to go. We knew nothing about Moore County. We would make trips down here whenever we could to come see, and really relied on the one person we knew here, the person whose job my husband was taking.
Oh, no.
And we fell in love with the area, and the realtor that we were working with just kind of took us all over the place. And the house that we ended up going with was in the number 6 neighborhood. And it was just the most, I was in my, 20 or 25, 26 years old.
Really?
And
you were that young when you got here. Oh, gosh.
I had to have been because, 26. So we've loved the neighborhood.
Yes.
Then we met the neighbors across the street. We never saw the inside of the house when we signed the contract for it.
You didn't?
Because the tenant didn't want to come out of the house. So that was my first real encounter with how real estate can be wonky sometimes.
Yes.
But we knew that's where we wanted to go. We knew this was limited time. So we were like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And so the initial plan was to rent this place for, a period of time until we got comfortable, decided if this is where we were going to call home. Do we want to buy a home here? And we spent the next 5 years looking.
Okay.
And when we couldn't decide exactly what we wanted, nothing fit that box. And every house we'd ever had before, we always renovated ourselves. So we just decided, hey, what if we just start from scratch? Start from scratch.
So how long have you been married at this point?
When we decided to
build the house.
5 years. Because
5 years.
5 years.
Okay.
5 years married.
Okay.
But we have had known each other for, let's see, we met in 2000 and ran into each other again several years later. And then we started our lives together.
Oh.
So our relationship really started from a friendship out of the gate. And
really?
I think that makes a huge difference.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, I know when we were friends, we worked together. He was actually my boss, if I'm honest.
One of those.
One of those.
With a happy ending.
With a happy ending, yes. And when we finally did date, we did not work together. Let me be very clear about that. It was years after. But we just kind of had a very, very secure relationship.
Right.
We trusted each other emphatically, learned a lot about each other before we got married.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it worked for us.
Yeah.
And so when it came time to build, we knew what we liked because we had already renovated other houses. So our builder kind of laughed and said, you guys are the easiest people I've ever worked with.
Really?
Like when we went in to make our selections, it was, here's our list. Here's what we're going to do. He's like, you're not going to change your mind. I said, no, we've had years of practice.
Well, they say that really is hard on a marriage building. So it wasn't for you.
Oh, no, we loved it. It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, one thing that stuck out at me when you were talking about that is that you decided to rent and find out, do I like it here? Is this the area I want to build? Is this the area I want to live? People don't do that anymore, Mellisa.
Well, a lot of times people are following jobs, it seems like. You know what I mean?
Moving here, following jobs.
And especially here in Moore County, we have a lot of military. So,
that's
they're
true.
short term.
That is true.
But the smart thing for a lot of the military people who move here is to make this home. And then that becomes an investment down the line for them.
Right.
It's just part of their story.
Yeah.
Sometimes renting is the best option.
Okay.
Not always, but
No.
sometimes. Sometimes it is a necessity in order to make you prepare and be ready for homeownership.
Right. When would you advise us to rent first instead of just jumping right in?
Well, I don't think there's a blanket answer for that. I think it's very individualized depending on what a person's goals are, where they're coming from. If you're a first-time home buyer who's moved out of mom's house like yesterday, and you don't have any life experience yet or any experience with managing bills and things of that nature, it would probably be wise to try to rent first just to see how you handle the day-to-day expenses. And, if something were to pop up in the house that you don't have the funds to take care of, having a landlord to cover that is helpful. But there's really no right or wrong answer. It really just kind of depends on the individual and what their goals are.
Right. It really worked for you guys though, right?
It worked for us because, with my husband's job back then, we seemingly moved every few years.
Okay.
And when we first moved here, I had no idea how long we were going to be here.
Okay.
And knew nothing about the area. And because we had to do everything in such a quick time crunch, we literally had 3 weeks. He got offered the job. You start the job in 3 weeks if you take it.
Yeah.
We were getting married out of the country.
Where'd you get married?
We got married in Grand Cayman. We took a cruise.
Oh, did you?
Yes. After all the planning, trying to find the perfect wedding venue and appease every person in the family on both sides, we were like, no. So we did a cruise for 7 days, took 13 people with us, and got married barefoot on the beach in Cayman. It was glorious.
I love that.
It was amazing.
And you took 13 people?
13 people.
All family members?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yes, all family members, yes.
Okay. So now you're here, you're married, you've rented for 5 years. Is Gracie around yet?
No. So we actually, she was in the end. Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So she was 2 years old when we moved into the house we built. So she has no memory of the other house. She just knows the one we are in now.
And you're still in the
still
one you
there.
built. Is that for your forever home?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, we've moved so much, and Moore County just kind of got in our bones. This is home. I can't imagine anywhere else being home. And we took so much time picking what we wanted in our home and building it the way we wanted to. And if you ask my husband, he'll never leave because of the yard. He has put blood, sweat, and tears into that, and it is his baby. That is what he's done.
Oh,
so
that's nice for you that he does all that.
Oh, yeah, he loves it. I'm just the handy helper whenever he needs me. But yeah, the yard that's his baby. That's his arena.
Okay, so you personally gone through the building process from the ground up. How does that help you guide clients who now are coming to you?
Well, the biggest piece that I will share with clients is you're going to be with that builder for a good period of time.
How long did it take you to build your house?
It took us just over 6 months.
Okay.
And
that's not very long.
It wasn't very long. I was actually pretty surprised with the process. Our builder did custom homes, but he also did a lot of like track homes. So he had an understanding of both arenas.
All right.
So when we started the process, he gave us the opportunity to choose from a couple of floor plans that he was already accustomed to building. And we went and toured a few of the houses that he had built and then kind of puzzle piece what we wanted. And we're like, I like this style that you've built, this floor plan, but would we be able to move some walls and put things the way we want to?
Right.
And so we met, did our architecture meeting and redrew a few things. And when I handed it back to him, he said, this is pretty amazing. You have how did you come up with this? And this is like from the flow of the house and doing renovations ourselves. the way where doors were put on the original plans in my brain didn't make sense and didn't maximize the space. So I moved things to where I thought it would work for me. And ultimately, my builder agreed. So that made me feel pretty good.
I wonder if he uses your plan.
Actually, ironically, after we built our house, he asked us if we would mind him showing it to some new clients to give them an idea. And I told him, I said, I don't mind so long as they have their own, touch on things, because we put so much thought into what we wanted.
Yeah.
There is one other house in Moore County that is almost an exact replica of mine.
Your builder?
Not my builder. It was another client, and I made the exception because this family had been through so much, and it was a family who had just lost the mom, and the dad was just like, I cannot make any more decisions. I love everything about this. I will take it.
Really?
And my builder did come to me, and he explained the situation, and I told him, I said, that's okay as long as you at least change one or two things.
Right.
So, and he did.
He did.
He did. So there's a little bit of a difference. Not much, but there's a little, enough to make me feel good about it. But when I tell people about the building experience, the biggest piece is that relationship comes in strong. You need to be able to communicate with your builder.
Right.
And they're going to be like your new best friend.
Right.
So
how do you find a builder like that? How do we know it's the one we want?
Well, Moore County Home Builders is a great starting place. We have a really strong builder community here.
Okay.
There are a lot of amazing custom builders in our area. We're very fortunate. Moore County is like in this beautiful little bubble where we have a lot of opportunities that are easily accessible, where in other areas it's a little harder to get to.
Right.
But we have a great pool of builders to choose from. Absolutely. If you don't know where to start with the Moore County Home Builders Association.
Oh, that's good advice. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then take the time to interview the builders. Look at some of the houses that they've built. Drive around in the neighborhoods. If they ask them for some ideas of homes that they've built, even if they're not available for you to walk through, at least you get a general idea. Meet with them. See if your personalities click. See if what they build fits your taste, because every builder is going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
And if it's something you're trying to build as your customized home, you want to make sure that you align with the builder and you understand each other.
Yeah. So it's okay to interview more than one builder and then walk away if it doesn't fit.
Right. Because every builder is going to be slightly different. Every builder that you get accustomed to making your coffee a certain way each day. And when you have guests that come over to stay in your home, if you go to make them coffee in the morning, if you don't think about it, you're going to make it the way you would normally make it. So you kind of want to think of it as this is a very, very personal experience when you're building from the ground up. But there's also, it depends on how customized you want. If you are just looking for new construction because you want something that's never been lived in, there are opportunities where developers and builders are building neighborhoods at a time where you can go and pick from, this house or this house or this house, and you're okay. And then we have the option where you can completely customize it from the ground up to be exactly yours. Yes. And again, that is unique, I think, to this area. I mean, I'm sure it's available in other places, but it feels special here. Like there is enough option between the two. And we have enough of a resource pool of builders who do both. And finding the best fit is just a matter of meeting the right builder. And meeting the right, the builder they work with their team of people. So they've got their architect that helps do their, the blueprints, and then they have their subcontractors. And, we have a great area of like people where you can go pick your lighting and all of those things, all the subcontractors and vendors. We have all of that here. So it's not like you have to go far to make those choices.
In such a small area. It's kind of like choosing a doctor. It's very personal.
Very personal. Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought that until talking to you now, Mellisa. Okay. What do people often misunderstand about getting a mortgage?
So most people immediately come in thinking that they have to have 20% down, have to have perfect credit, and, ready to jump right in and no other debt.
Okay.
That is absolutely not the case.
Thank goodness, right?
Absolutely not the case. Otherwise, everybody would be renting all the time.
Yeah.
You do have the option. We have affordable lending, and that is created for people who are within under a threshold for certain income levels, where you have the opportunity to do as little as 3% down on a conventional loan.
Oh, really?
Not a special
3%.
You could do 3% conventional loan for the affordable lending.
Huh?
You do not have to be a first-time home buyer for that either.
Really?
Correct. So there are just affordable programs where it is income-based.
Yeah.
Then there are other options where you do have to be a first-time home buyer, but there's just so much to choose from.
There's so many things.
And there's so much more beyond just conventional lending also. If you're a veteran and you have entitlement, you can do 100% financing with the VA.
I love that.
There are government loans like FHA and USDA, and there's just a plethora of options. And it really is finding the best match for your needs.
So what's the biggest mistake home buyers make before talking with a lender?
Falling in love with a house they can't afford.
Oh, God.
That is the hardest.
Oh,
The hardest pill to swallow is breaking someone's heart when they come in dead set on a home. They've fallen in love and find out that it is just outside of their means.
It breaks my heart even thinking about that.
It does. So I always tell people, know before you go.
Yeah.
If you got to have a plan. And so finding out what you qualify for, and then you find the house that meets that.
Okay. So come to you first.
Yes, you absolutely need to know what you qualify for and what you can afford before you go fall in love for something that isn't going to work.
Okay. So how many times does that happen? You are the first person they call.
The first person?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times think about this, we have online everything, right?
Oh,
We are in a need for immediate satisfaction for everything. So you might have, you're lying in bed and or knowing that you're wanting to buy a new house. Where do I start? Where's the first thing you think people go to?
Mr. Google?
Yeah, Mr. Google. They start looking for houses, and then they end up on online search engines, and they scroll through and they look at houses. And that's a great place to kind of give you an idea of what you like.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see things, give you an idea of what costs may be in the area you're looking. That may be a good place just to kind of get an idea. But you definitely want to be advised on what you qualify for.
Yeah.
And beyond just finding out what you qualify for from the financial standpoint, you also want to make sure that you are being connected to a realtor who knows the market and knows the area and can really understand what you're looking for and match you to the right house as well.
Right.
Let them alleviate the stress of scrolling, all night long and looking at 5 million houses online. When you tell them what you're looking for, it gives them the opportunity to find what matches what you're wanting.
Yeah, of course. So do you have vetted vendors that someone comes to you first and they need a real estate agent and they need someone to build their home, or they want to renovate, or all of the other things that I don't even know of?
Yes, absolutely. So I've been doing this now. Will be my 15th year in the mortgage industry.
Okay.
And I've worked with lots of different people.
Yeah.
And what I enjoy about my job is having the ability to work with all different types of people.
Right.
And, having a pool of realtors that I work with pretty regularly. And then there are realtors that I work with that I've never worked with before. Our community is very large.
Yeah,
it's a very large area.
It's a small
area.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I said, it's a very unique place. But when clients come to me, if they come to me first, and I do the pre-approval process, what I also often ask them is just kind of understanding what their timeline is, what kind of experience they're anticipating, and then trying to match that personality and need and time availability to an agent that I think they'll work well with, or a builder that they work well with, just kind of based off of what it is they're asking for.
Yeah.
Because once you've worked in this market for so long, you kind of get a feel for different people, different ways of doing things. Like different realtors work differently. based on their clients. Builders are going to offer various options that may meet your needs. This one may not meet your needs. So really having an understanding of those business partners, from my standpoint, help me point my clients in the right direction.
Okay. All right. So you've been helping families achieve ownership since 2012, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So 2011 is when I first started looking into doing the mortgage and really starting the process of, do I want to transition out of banking and into the mortgage world, which was amazing. It was the best choice I made. Love it. So yes, 2012 was when my license actually came to fruition, and I have not looked back since.
All right. So do you have a client success story that has stayed with you?
My most favorite experience paid me the least amount of money. Yes. I had the ability to work with a client who was a retired veteran and had suffered domestic violence and was living out of a homeless shelter multiple states away, trying to make her way home as close to family as possible. And really going through that experience with her and having to get extremely creative because, you have to show 2-year history of where you've lived, 2-year history of work. Luckily, we had the VA information to show the retirement and the disability pay and things of that nature.
Yes.
But having to create a 2-year history of where you live when you really have not had anywhere to live took a lot of work.
Wow.
But we were able to piece together the multiple places that she was staying, the different veteran-run homeless shelters.
Right.
And created that history for her.
Oh my gosh.
So we were able to help her not only escape a terrible situation, but she's a first-time home buyer. First-time home buyer coming from homelessness to first-time home buyer. And she had worked for so long and had saved for so long and just had to get out of the situation she was in, and being a part of bringing her back to her life, really giving her the opportunity to start over.
Right.
Was amazing. It's the least amount of money I ever made on a deal, but it was the absolute best experience and one that sticks with me forever.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, home ownership is a huge accomplishment.
Oh gosh, yes.
When you ask people coming, if you have people, walk out and ask anyone on the street, what is the American dream?
That's right. Yeah.
My whole life growing up, it was the house with the white picket fence, two dogs or 2 kids and a dog in the front yard. You know what I mean? That's changed a little bit, of course.
It has a little.
But at the center of it, it's always home ownership. Yes.
That's right. Yeah. That's the first thing you think about is where you're going to live. And it's not just a house. It's your home.
That's right.
So, okay. So you said she was a first-time home buyer. What do you enjoy most about helping these first-time buyers?
First-time buyers are so fun to work with because they're so full of dream and enthusiasm.
Yes.
But there's also a lot of trepidation. There's a lot of fear. And coming from the world of, utilizing that psychology degree and working with children and helping them understand how to do the next thing. When you work with first-time home buyers, it's really taking the time to really lay out the next step. And here's the path and here's what we do. It's like being a parent. It's like, that little baby bird, they're teaching them how to fly. Like that's how I feel with my first-time home buyers is I get to be a part of the most exciting moment of their life.
Oh gosh, her eyes are sparkling, by the way. I know you can't see it, but her eyes are sparkling.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Okay, so at the end of the day, houses are important, but it's the people inside them that really matter. And I heard you say that about the couple of other jobs that you've had and how they fit you right into what you're doing now.
Yeah.
It's a path. You're right.
Is.
It's the river. The river led you to where you are now.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so I know, because I know you, how much your family means to you.
Absolutely.
And I know that's your why.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's talk about family community and what it means to truly feel at home. So Moore County has changed a lot since you arrived.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. A lot has happened since 2008. Yes.
So what? Oh, it was 2008 when the big crash and all of that.
That's when we moved here.
What made you decide this was home?
Well, like I said, there's something about Moore County that just kind of becomes who you are. I don't know how to explain it. When we first moved here, full honesty, I hated it.
Really?
The first year we were here, I was 26 years old.
Gosh.
And we moved into our neighborhood. I loved where we were. It's beautiful here.
Yes.
But there was absolutely nothing to do.
Oh.
And if you didn't know somebody who
Uh-huh.
knew somebody who knew what was going on,
Yes.
you were home.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was part of the charm of Pinehurst and when we first moved here.
Right.
But once I realized that there's so much more than just Pinehurst.
Yeah.
When people ask us where we live, and in my mind immediately, Pinehurst, Southern Pines, Aberdeen,
Right.
we're all one community.
It's
Like we
true.
kind of bleed into each other. And to me, it feels more like, in a big city where you've got pockets of neighborhoods.
Yes.
I kind of feel like the towns here are like your little neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit different experience here. And, drive 2 minutes down the road and you're in Southern Pines and it's a little bit different experience here. And then the same into Aberdeen. They all kind of bleed into each other and they all have their own little individual charms about them. But as a whole, it's just one big community. And I think that's what's so special about Moore County is it truly feels like a big community. And, neighbors looking out for neighbors, the things that people really want and the things that people really look out for, they want to feel that sense of community.
Right.
I feel Moore County is very special in the fact that it is one of those places that actually delivers on that.
Yes. Yes. I would have to agree with you. I found that Moore County has been the easiest place I've lived to meet people and to become involved.
Yeah. So, coming from a place of, oh my gosh, there's nothing to do. I know no one.
Yes.
To me, it was, okay, this is a mindset this is not where I am. This place is beautiful.
Right.
I need to change my mindset.
Right.
So my husband, because we were newly married, he's like, why don't you try not working? See how you like that? I said, okay.
I see that.
That lasted 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I said, I can only clean the house so many times. I can only, prepare meals so many times.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. And this was before Gracie was born. So I decided that I wanted to really give this place a chance because I had the feeling that we were going to be here at least for a couple of years.
Right.
This is going to be home no matter how long or short it is. So I took a job at the Carolina Hotel just because it was the only thing I knew. It's the only thing I could, really understand about where we were at the time. And that gave me the opportunity to meet to meet so many people.
Yeah, I bet so.
And really, that is what really kind of carried me through in the first bit of being here. And coming from the car dealership world on the financing side, I can remember people coming in, like the vendors coming in, the people that I wrote deals to. Why don't you work for the bank? It's so much better. The hours are better. You don't have to work these crazy, all the time. So that just kind of resonated in my mind.
Oh.
And then that's when I met someone who worked for the bank that I went to work for, just happened to be at work one day and I heard someone over, talking. And then I just kind of, oh yeah, I remember that. And that's what kind of got me back into the financing stuff. But I loved being at the Carolina. It was great.
It's such a pretty place.
It was so fun. You get to meet the locals. I met a lot of what I love about this area, one of the things I love about this area is it's a great place for a staycation. Like the locals treat it like the place to be, like the place to go. And I learned that. I was like, okay, there's something special here when you're off and it's vacation time, but you still want to be here.
Right.
There's something to be said about that.
That's true. Yeah.
Which was really amazing. And then it really gave me the opportunity to meet other people coming in and then hearing other people talk about how special our town is. And it's, when you really think about it, people pay money to vacation where we live every day. They pay a lot to come here. And we get to be here every day. That's true. That's amazing.
That's something to think about. We don't always think that way.
Yes. And the area has really, really grown. And, we've got a lot of opportunity here. We've got a lot of special, small businesses here. And when I say small business, I mean, they are big, they do big things and we still get to treat them. It's still like you got that special mom and pop feel. Local owned business is amazing.
Yes,
and I love that each area of our town of Moore County, again, it's very specialized and unique to where those shops sit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that's right.
It's just a cool, it's a culture.
And
I love that this area really, really plays into that and really just kind of buys into the small town culture.
I agree. I say that all the time is that one of the things that's so special is how the community gets behind local owned
Oh,
businesses.
absolutely.
I mean, we have, chains and fast foods and all of that,
We
but
do.
our first choice is we
Always
shop
local.
local.
That's right. We
Mhm.
shop local. We work with local lenders.
That's it.
Local people.
Yeah.
Local.
All right. So you built a successful career, but you're also incredibly proud of your family. How have you balanced being a wife, a mom, and a mortgage professional over these years?
It's all about prioritizing my why. And my family, absolutely, you're right, comes first.
That's right.
Everything
That's
I
your
do,
why.
everything I do stems from the benefit and growth of my family and the betterment of my family. And I think the reason why mortgage kind of plays into that so well is my job is to help you and the betterment of your family and the growth of your family. So it bleeds very well into each other. They marry very well.
You're
Very well.
with their why.
That's right. Absolutely.
Nice.
And, a lot of times people ask me, well, how do you get it done? And
Yeah.
a lot of
you?
I don't know, Rose. Caffeine, little sleep,
Yeah.
it's like a circus act. You got to juggle it all and, hope you don't drop a plate.
How do you do it? I don't know. I don't know how you do it. Because, I know that you have clients calling you at all times.
All times. Sometimes it starts at 5:30 in the morning, that
my
first
Lord.
text. But, it's about balance. And yes. You got to have boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries are important, but accessibility is also.
That's right.
And, I understand people have jobs 9 to 5, which is why I don't work 9 to 5. I try to make myself available to clients when it works for them, within reason, of course.
Right.
Because we are all busy.
Yes.
And, a lot of times people can lean too heavily into, well, we're busy, we can't do this, and this.
Right.
You choose. You got to make choices. Busy is a choice. And yes, it's a lot. And having a high school daughter who plays sports and does theater and all the things it takes from that time. But when you learn to time management and build that in and choose what's important, it kind of gives you balance. When she was really little, I would work crazy hours because I could,
right.
And then as the years changed and as her needs changed and she's a teenager who still likes me
nice.
and still wants to hang out from time to time, she's the priority.
Right.
So, business kind of ebbs and flows, and I kind of allow that to happen around making sure that I'm not failing on the front of supporting my daughter and what she wants to do with her life and being a supportive wife and trying to make sure that they get the best of me also.
Right.
I don't want to leave all of my best for my clients. I absolutely give every bit of myself to my clients, but my family deserves the best of me as well.
They certainly do. Yeah. And that's a lesson for us all to learn.
Yes. It's a difficult one, but
there's only 24 hours.
That's right. That's right. We're all given the same 24 hours. And that's what you choose to do in it. That's right.
Sleep and eat. We do have to sleep and eat. Okay. Tell us a little bit about Brad and Gracie and what makes you most proud of them right now.
Well, man, that's a hard one. Sorry, I dropped my phone, everybody. They make me proud all the time. I kind of am one of those people that doesn't hang too heavily on the big, grandiose things. It's the day-to-day wins. And watching my husband build his career from, working in a restaurant to building and running his own restaurant to now helping other restaurant owners and, schools and anyone in need of food kind of build their dream and grow their business by helping them. He's a food distributor for Benny Keith, and he helps people maximize on their earnings for their business by making sure that he's helping them with their budgets for food and cost and things that I don't understand.
Right.
But his biggest thing is he's like, I'm basically, I sell groceries. But at the end of the day, it's all about the relationship. And watching him work with his customers, they are like family to him.
Really?
Which is awesome.
Yes.
And it all boils down to relationship in any business, really. And it's just really fun to watch him. And he takes things, very personally, the success of his clients, very, very personally.
Really?
He wants to see them succeed. And it's really cool. It's a special a special skill.
Yes.
You know, you can teach someone how to sell something, but you can't teach someone how to care.
Yeah.
And it's just it's really cool to watch. And for Gracie, it's been exciting to kind of watch her become who she is.
Right. I know there was a big win recently with Gracie.
There was.
Let's hear about it.
So Pinecrest Women's Lacrosse won the North Carolina State Championships for the first time in history. Woo woo.
Really? For the first
time, yes.
Gosh, and she's freshman.
So Gracie was on the JV team and she got to play up to several varsity games. And at the end of the JV season, when the varsity coach came and talked to her and said, "Hey, listen, how do you feel about being pulled up and being part of our practices every time and really pushing these girls to be the best that they can be?" And she said, "Okay, yes, you stepped to the challenge." And so then for her, at first she was like, "I don't know, does that mean that I'm actually part of this team?" I said, "Honey, yes, absolutely. Yes. If you're helping them grow and be better and being a part, you're absolutely a part of all of it." And so it's just been really cool to watch her as a freshman just reach this level of achievement. And for her, she's like, "What have we played lacrosse? Why are you guys making such a big deal?" I'm like, "I don't think you understand. This is huge. This is a huge deal. You know, you will forever be part of the story of the history of this school. Your team is the first one to win state." And it's just been really exciting, really, really exciting to watch.
Right. And how long has she been doing lacrosse?
So she started playing probably summer of 6th grade.
Okay.
She was a competitive horse rider before.
Oh.
And so really jumping from an individual sport to team sport, we tried it all when she was little, and lacrosse just stuck.
Really?
She loves it.
What about you, Mom? Is it a scary sport? I mean, they're wheeling around those mallets. And
I mean, they are. I mean, it's very fast-paced and fun to watch. But I will say, I think as a parent for the girls, it's a little less scary than men's lacrosse. Men's lacrosse is crazy. It's like very, very violent.
Oh, gosh.
But the girls lacrosse takes finesse. And it's when you watch the two play.
I prefer finesse to violence.
Yes, ma'am. Me too. Me too. It's just the level of skill that these athletes have is just it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it is a little scary because you're that close. There's this ball that's flinging everywhere.
Yes.
You have the lacrosse nets and sticks, and you know it's fast paced and fast moving, and they have no protection on.
Oh, really? They don't have anything? No knee guards? No.
Girls lacrosse, because it's not supposed to be contact.
Yeah.
Which again takes finesse
and
skill. And Pinecrest is very fortunate. They've got an amazing coaching staff, and these girls, it's so much more than just a coach. Like they are amazing. They inspire these girls. They push them to be the best that they possibly can be.
I love that.
And they expect them to be the best that they can be. But it's not like, if you get someone that puts too much pressure on you and you cave under the pressure,
right?
They give them the opportunity to step to the exceptional. And it's amazing. And it's like its own little community. And I had other parents come in whose daughters played for the first time ever this year and say, this experience that we've had with this team and the way these girls support each other and the coaching is completely different than any other sport we've ever experienced.
No kidding.
It's a special, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just amazing, and it's so fun to watch.
Right. Well, I've never watched a lacrosse game.
Well, come on.
When did they start? What's the season like?
So they start really the off season to really get them interested and start working out late October. And then preseason usually starts right in November. And then they do preseason practice all the way through to tryouts, which usually aren't until February.
Oh, wow.
And the reason they do it that way is because the game schedule starts almost immediately after.
Oh,
so they do a lot of the preparation ahead of time. And what's really cool is these girls get the opportunity to play with each other, get to learn how each other, work and feed off of each other.
Right.
And then the coaches get that opportunity to really watch their development through the course of just preseason practices. And then build the team from there, which is really, really amazing. It's like I said, it's different than any other sport I've seen. Usually it's like you go to tryouts, you find your team, and then you start practicing. This way, I think, creates a lot more character development. You really are playing for the position that you want. You earn it every day. You show up and you earn that spot every single day.
Right. And I would think that the building the team is much better that way too.
Oh,
Because you've been
absolutely.
together from the very beginning
Mhm.
before you even try out.
Yes. So, a lot of sports are, they have the fall and then winter and spring.
Right.
And it's technically a spring sport. We just
Okay.
finished, but they give
They
it
do
their
it.
all,
Yeah. They
pretty much
start in
all
the
year. And
fall.
even when they're not at practice, they're at home doing drills and,
Really.
all kinds of stuff.
Does
So,
Gracie practice a lot?
oh yeah.
Does she?
Yeah, she loves it though.
Oh.
So it makes it worth it. And then we've played with the local club level here. I say we, not me.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. Not me. I'm a spectator. I'm a supporter. That's about it. But
Still we.
it's really it's a sport that's growing in this area for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just it builds a lot of character. I really
Yeah.
feel like sports are important for youth.
I
Very
agree.
important.
I totally agree.
Very important.
We had the rule with our kids is that it didn't matter what it was. I mean, Emily, our oldest, chose cheerleading. That's fine. Whatever sport they want, but they have to do a sport all 4 years of high school. They have to. Whatever they want to do.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it builds a lot of character.
Absolutely.
Resistance.
It also,
Discipline.
discipline.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It teaches them to have a schedule, have a goal, have something to work for. It teaches you the ability to, or you earn what you're willing to put in.
That's true.
And that's a life skill.
That is
If
a life skill.
we're preparing these kids to go out into the world, they go to school to, learn what the fundamentals and figure out what they want to do with their life.
Right.
But something about playing sports is just an added piece to that puzzle. It really helps them understand that this is a goal. This is something I'm working for. This is what
Right.
I'm working towards to achieve that. And that we
And
do
you
that
don't always win.
That's right. That's absolutely
How
right.
do you handle it when you don't win?
Is important.
How do you train
Absolutely.
them to lose?
Yes.
If that happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Mellisa. All right, so you've helped people during one of the most biggest decisions of their lives. What have your clients taught you over the years?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I've learned, I get a lot of feedback that I have excellent communication, which when I hear that kind of baffles me sometimes.
I would say that's very true.
I've leaned heavily into the education piece, and
Yes.
I want my clients to be able to walk in on closing day and the attorney could slide the stack of papers across the table and not say a word, and they could sign and be 100% confident in what they're doing.
Right.
And the feedback that I get is that they walk in without question. They know there is no surprise. The feedback that I get a lot is the ability to answer questions
Right.
and really just understanding. Communication is what I get a lot. That our team was very easy to work with.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good at tooting my own horn, Rose. You should know that about me.
But there's so much to toot, Mellisa. It's education. It's the education piece.
I think so.
Which is what started you from the very beginning in education.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like the more people know about what they're doing, the more comfortable they're going to be with the decisions that they make.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I don't ever want to be a lender that is an order taker. Because if you come in and say, this is what I want, and that's based off of things that you've either read on the internet or your grandma's cousin's brother, this is how they did it.
Right.
My job is not to be an order taker. My job is to ask the right questions, figure out what your goals are, what's important to you up front and in the short term, what are your long-term goals, and then really customize the mortgage experience and tailor it to meet those goals.
Right.
Because everybody's different. No two buyers are alike ever. Ever.
It sounds like you really listen to people when they come in.
You have to.
Yeah.
Absolutely have to, because otherwise you're missing the boat.
Right.
Not only just in the mortgage transaction itself, because it's not transactional. It's a relationship.
Yes.
From start to finish. I will forever be a part of that family story, and I want to be a good character in that story, Rose.
Mellisa, what does home mean to you?
Home is a safe place to be. Home is a place where you don't have to put on any other face. You can just be who you are and be and not have to worry about what anybody else thinks or says. Home is the
Yes.
place where you feel comfort. Home is where you go when you need the break, when you need to breathe.
Yeah.
That's just, it's your safe space.
Your safe space.
Mhm.
Nice. I love it. Okay, we're going to do a quick fire round.
Okay.
And what that is I'll just throw it out to you. Don't think, first thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
Coffee or sweet tea?
Oh, coffee.
Coffee. She has a coffee right now.
I do.
Beach or mountains?
Ooh, hard one.
Oh, like both.
I love them both.
What you have to go tomorrow? Where are you going?
Ooh, if I have to go tomorrow, I'm going to the beach.
Going to the beach.
Because it's hot out.
New construction or historic home?
Oh, tugging at my heartstrings, Rose. Can I take a pass on that one? Oh my goodness, that's tough. That's tough.
Really?
If you said new construction or development with every house that looks the same, new construction. New construction is it just depends. Oh, I know you wouldn't. I do love an excuse me, an old home because there's so much character. But new construction, you can kind of recreate that.
Recreate it. That's true.
That one's a hard one.
Okay. Favorite local restaurant?
Okay, we have a category of those. So if it's a quick date night dinner, we're going to Lisi.
Okay.
If we're going for cocktails, it's Workshop Tavern.
Oh, really?
Hands down.
No.
Yes. If we're doing Sunday brunch, depending on how fancy we want to be, we're either going to Mason's or we're going to Sizzling Steak and Eggs. Best breakfast in town, just going to say it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
And then let's see, after golf, when we go play golf, it's always Ironwood.
All right, so you just said Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Southern Pines.
Yep, I told you. You go where your heart is pulling you in that moment.
Okay. All right, dream vacation destination.
That would be Phuket, Thailand.
Really?
Yes.
Have you been?
No.
Oh, wow, but you really want to go.
Yes, we are actually working on planning a trip for that. Hopefully next year.
What a long airplane ride.
Yes. We would like to kind of tie in Singapore into that. We've never been to Southeast Asia. We've done the Caribbean. We've done lots of other places, but we really want to try something different.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you can talk to Maria. Her daughter is right around there.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. All right. One thing people are surprised to learn about you.
Well, once upon a time, I used to coach hockey.
Did you really? I am very surprised. Now, not because I read the list of things you've done, so I know you can do everything. But hockey?
Yeah, I knew nothing about it.
No.
At the time, I was nanny for 2 boys that played hockey, and I went to all of their practices. I was.
You didn't add that to the list of things you did?
I was in high school then. And their dad ran the program for the schools to play, and so I got to be part of bringing the high school teams in.
Yeah.
And I was there all the time, so I got to be a coach for the little peewee players.
Oh, my God.
And then I got to be the game announcer, which was so much fun. I got to do all the crazy sounds and push all the buttons and come up with the nicknames for people. Oh, it was great. I loved it so much.
Are you a Canes fan now that you know hockey?
Absolutely.
Would you pay $1,200 for a nosebleed seat?
Maybe not. I am in the business of being financially savvy and responsible, Rose. No, if I had the opportunity to go to a game, I would go. We've watched them all from home.
Oh, have you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Best advice you've ever received.
Okay. The best advice I ever received would have been from my grandfather. And this is so silly, but he used to always talk about being worried. People who worry get stuck.
Yeah.
People who worry dwell. Yeah. You sit in a rocking chair and you rock back and forth and you go nowhere sitting in a rocking chair. That's like worrying. You sit in it and you rock back and forth and you get stuck.
Wow.
Always choose action over sitting and worrying.
I love that advice. And I love the rocking chair analogy. You're so right. You just back
sit
and forth, but you're not going anywhere.
That's right.
You're moving, but you're not going anywhere.
Absolutely. When you get stuck in the worry of things, you don't move.
Wow.
So yes, address the situation, feel all the feelings.
Yes.
Make a plan and move forward.
That is great advice, Mellisa. That is great advice. So every guest on the Imagine More podcast gets their own jingle.
Oh, my goodness.
So here's yours.
Home is where the stories start. Home is where we leave our heart. Home sweet Holt, that's the way. Helping neighbors every day.
I love that.
Thank you,
so
Mellisa.
much.
Thank you. If someone would like to learn more about Main Street Home Loans, ask questions about buying, building, or refinancing a home, or simply connect with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
So you can call me, text me.
Please call you.
Yep. Call me, text me. Here, I'll even tell you my phone number right here. You ready for it?
Oh, not many people do that, folks.
336-480-6729. Call me, text
Wow.
me if you have questions. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok if you want to, see the goofy side of mortgage, because that's where I post all my funny mortgage stuff.
I love what you post.
And then my website is homesweetholt.com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I love your tagline. Tell everybody your tagline.
From Main Street to your street, I'm Home Sweet Holt.
Yeah, I love that, Mellisa. All right, my final question today. If someone listening today is thinking about buying, building, or refinancing a home, what would you like them to remember?
Remember that it is very specific to your needs and your goals.
Okay.
And coming in and really talking about what those needs and goals are, even if you don't think it's important, sometimes it makes or breaks the deal.
Okay.
So really understanding what it is or why you're wanting to do something, allow me to figure out the how. You tell me the what you're trying to achieve, why you're trying to get there.
Right.
I'll figure out the pathway to make it work.
Wow, Mellisa. And that's a big ask to figure out the how.
Well, I've got the tools and I've got a great team behind me. And we've, at Main Street, we have the ability to, pull from a bunch of different opportunities, a bunch of different loan options. And I think that is why I love where I work so much. It really, people say you work is like family.
Right.
And that could be a really cheesy or cheeky thing to say, but it truly is like that where I work.
Nice.
And, even though we are all individual loan officers and we're not a team, so to speak.
Yeah.
We very much work off of each other. We always are willing to share what works, what doesn't work with each other. I'm not in competition with the person next to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And at the end of the day, if a deal is too good and I can't do it, I'm going to tell you. Okay. Take it. I can't beat that.
Okay.
But I can also tell you that usually doesn't happen.
So listen, guys, one of her biggest things is listening to you. So just go in and talk to her and tell her, what's in your heart and let her figure out the how. I love that.
That's right.
I love that, Mellisa. So this has been such a fun conversation, and you're so easy to talk to.
Thanks,
What strikes me most about your story is that every step of your journey, from teaching children to banking to mortgage lending, has really been about helping people build better lives.
Absolutely.
And
that's what it all boils down to.
You help people buy homes, but more importantly, you help them create the place where birthdays are celebrated, holidays are spent, family comes, homework gets done.
Yes.
And memories are made.
That's right.
I love that.
That's right.
Thank you for spending time with us today and for everything you do for families across Moore County.
Well, thank you for having me, Rose. I really appreciate it.
Those listening that may not know Moore County, I know they're going to want to come down and at least check it.
That's right. I almost feel like I let the cat out of the bag,
Oh, no. And thank you for joining us for another episode of the Imagine More podcast. My guest today has been Mellisa Holt of Main Street Home Loans. Give her a call. Check out her website. Imagine finding the perfect place to call home. Imagine building a future filled with possibility. And as always, keep imagining more.
Imagine more stories. Podcast.